Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt,
I'm Chris.
and this is our episode for January 13th, 2019.
Jaden Durrell's up the right wing, drives wide on set-off, breakaway on McNabb, fakes and goes forehand, great right pad save for McNabb, and it ends up underneath that right leg. Swept away, but at the line, Scholler a shot, and he scores! Liam Scholler! Riley Crane behind the net, Pratt up top, left circle, Struhl, one-timer, and he scores! What a shot, Sebastian Struhl!
Okay, so continuing on with our bit of a slide here, tough week again. Wasn't anything we didn't really expect. We had some good teams coming into our place. And why don't we just start with that Portland game? Overall, I thought it was a pretty good effort by our guys. That was a skilled team there. You could just see their offensive skill, and that line with Cody Glass is just something else. So overall, I was pretty happy with that game. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought that as well. We kind of weathered the storm in the first period. We almost got out of it with only giving up one goal. That late one was tough to give up, but it happened. And then we gave up one early in the second. But we were still in the game. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah,
like we were getting outplayed, obviously, but I mean, like, we weren't getting thoroughly outplayed.
Well, and that's just the thing. Like, they were a better team, and we've said it a few times now, the style that this Pats team is going to be playing can negate some of that. Like, they're gritty and granted, there was a lot of skill on that Portland team, but we seem to manage to be able to not get totally outplayed. Like, even though we were getting outplayed, I don't know. They're still like we've said, they're still playing really hard, and I don't know. I was happy with the effort that game.
Yeah, like, we didn't give up a ton of grade A scoring chances, right?
Yeah.
So
the only time it really looked really bad was that early in the second period where we got really scrambly, and then they potted it on us. But that 50 seconds.
I don't even know if that was a lack of skill play. It was in guys' feet, and we just couldn't get a stick on it.
Yeah.
And kind of guys got out of position, fishing for a puck, and then all of a sudden, Blichfeld was wide open in front of the net, and he's not going to miss that one, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, you could see both him and Glass had a good shorthanded chance each.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we managed the game, I think, is kind of how we gotta play it.
It was almost like we were trying too hard on that play. Like, everyone was just overcommitting and falling, and like, it was too bad. But overall, I mean, one of the really promising things was for as skilled as Portland is and how much faster they are than us, we only took 2 penalties. So that was nice discipline to see.
And they are the most penalized team, and we're the second most penalized team, and we both only took 2.
Yeah, and we didn't give up a power play. Just some really good power play, some good players. So
yeah, exactly.
Like, overall, it was a fun. I had fun with that game. It was nice to see Scholler gets another goal. Like, that guy, I don't know, he's just figuring it out now. Like you said, too bad he's figuring it out halfway through his 20-year-old year that he's got a maybe bit of not a scoring touch, but he can put a few in the net. It's a little late in his career for that, but
yeah. It was like the same spot again, top of the circle, and
that's
he just
his spot.
Puts it on net and it finds a hole.
Yeah, and then anything else from that game you want to talk about? You got your jersey signed, in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So that was nice. So really happy about that.
That's a nice one to have. Is there anything else you want to say?
McNabb, I thought, played pretty well in that game.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Especially in that first period.
Yeah, he did.
So,
yeah.
That's about it, I think, from that game.
So then it was on to Medicine Hat. So this game, we were severely outplayed for about 16 minutes, and then I don't know what happened. The switch flipped, and we started to look really good. We finally got the late goal, which was it's something we a bit of struggle with. We usually give up the late goal, so it was nice to get that. 5 minutes into the second here, I was looking. McNabb made just some great saves, spun around. Guys were blocking shots, and it was awesome. Like really good effort still. And then promptly gave up one after that, unfortunately, after that nice sequence. But Medicine Hat had a beautiful goal. I think it ended up being, it was highlight of the night, or is on the candidate list or something like that. It was a nice toe drag, and the guy was falling and still passed it back. It was a pretty neat play, actually. Do you know who I've been... And I was actually typing this before he scored because I was taking notes during the game. Stru's really coming on. He's looking fairly good, actually. We haven't really got to see him consistently, right? We picked him up, and then he went off to compete with Germany in the junior tournament there, and he's really kind of settling in and picking up some points here. So... got a few good looks and a nice goal in that Medicine Hat game. I do want to give a bit of credit to Hollett. He looked a lot better this game than we had been seeing from him lately, and I've been a little bit hard on him, but he looked really good here. McNabb played okay-ish. There's some bit of a softer goal here and there, but we give up the goals, these soft goals that you might think would be really demoralizing, but the team still goes right back at it, and they just they keep at it, and it was nice to see again. So Presente got the start, or not the start, I guess the move to Presente in the third period. And speaking of effort, I think everyone was really rooting for him because it almost was like the guys didn't want to be the reason that he got scored on for the first goal against him in his career. So guys were still selling out and trying hard. He even had to face a few seconds of a 5-on-3. Matt Kemp, or is his name Matt Kemp?
Brett Kemp.
Brett Kemp. He ended up with the puck in the slot, faced that. So, I mean, it was good to see him play. He only faced 4 shots, really. So I think that kind of shows that the team was really still playing for him and keeping his shots away and blocking shots. So, yeah, overall, we're not having... Medicine Hat's kind of got our number this year. Well, a lot of teams do, but we haven't had much success against them. So, did you anything you want to say about that game?
I didn't end up getting to watch it, so I don't have much to say. Just Brett Kemp, he's a brand new guy. They just picked him up from Edmonton, so that's a nice return right away.
Yeah.
I was kind of just... He looked good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just kind of following the score as we were out of town, and it just seemed... I don't know if the app wasn't working right, but we didn't have many shots in the first, and
no,
and it didn't... I don't think it updated in the second, but we didn't have... It said we didn't have many shots, so I was like, ooh, we must be getting outplayed, but...
the first majority of the first period was pretty bad, but then they flipped it around, so that was good.
Yeah, and both teams only had 4 shots in the third, I see, so...
Yeah. Okay, and then it was on to Red Deer coming in. Boy, Red Deer looked really good. And I know the score was off, but do you know what? The thing about this game was Regina was still... They hung around, they, like we've been saying these past few episodes, they're the team. If you don't keep at them and keep putting them away, they'll keep chipping away at you. And that's what was happening, because it was Red Deer would score a couple, and then we'd get within 1 or 2, and then if they just let off the gas just the littlest bit, we were working hard and we'd get a goal here and there. And so anyone that might be a little butthurt about them running up the score, I really don't blame them. I think they needed to, because we were just kept coming at them. And Matt Presente got the start, which was, I'm okay with that, really. I even saw out there we had Mitchell out there on some of the penalty kills and power plays, and so they're really starting to. I think the coaching staff's embraced that this is our team for the next year, and may as well get these guys some ice time. And I don't know if they know something about Max Paddock, and that's why they want to get Presente some time. I don't know, but but I do have to talk about our overagers. They looked brutal in this game. I was embarrassed for them. Puto got he just got his pocket picked by Johnson. So he just takes the puck from him and then goes in and scores. Like it was like he was playing against a rookie 16 or 17-year-old and just absolutely embarrassed him. Just took the puck simply, and then Puto tried to, I don't know, drag him down. He still couldn't, and Johnson scores. And then Scholler got absolutely undressed, like spun around like a goofball and then the guy goes in and scores. Like, it was a lot of the teams working so hard, and when your 20-year-olds are doing that and they're looking that, just it was that was some bad display of skill by them. But Red Deer is I want to say well-coached team, but at the same time, not very disciplined. They were taking some pretty bad penalties. But they're a big, strong team. Their puck control was fantastic. They just looked good. They were much better than us last night. I mean, the score shows that. But that being said, Presente, first game, he let in 5. It was a beatdown, to say the least.
Yeah, and I watched the highlights because, again, I missed this game. But we scored a goal early. It would have made it 2-1, a shorthanded goal. Pierce took the puck away from the goalie, and the goalie fell down.
Yeah.
And they waved it off like I don't know, that seemed like it seemed like, I know you can't run the goalie or anything, you can't hit the goalie, but he didn't hit the goalie.
Yeah,
he just took the puck away from him, and the goalie fell down.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it was interference, why didn't you call it when it was, right? Like right then, and then it would never have been a goal because he would have been called for a penalty. So
yeah, so it wasn't a penalty,
yeah,
but it wasn't a goal, right? So
no, it's like,
so that's a tough break, right?
Yeah. After that, Red Deer pulled their goalie, and I was wondering, did he get hurt? Like, what's going on? But I guess then he went back in shortly. Scott on Twitter was thinking that it was the sloppy play, and he yanked him, gave him a piece of his mind, then put him back in. So don't do it again. So
yeah, and he is the backup. So
yeah, I don't know if that was the idea. That's what happened, but yeah, Red Deer, boy, they looked. They honestly, I think out of the teams that have come in and beat us, they looked the best that I've seen come in. They dominated us, and it was so.
Yeah, I remember watching the game in Red Deer, and they had just picked up the 2 guys from Kootenay, and they were both playing with Hagel, and that line dominated.
Yeah,
Brett Davis and Hagel have scored some points together here, so it looks like they're still together. And then you just look at the score, it's 9-4, it's like, ooh. But like you said, we just kept hanging in. You look at the score sheet, they score, we score, we got a couple in a row, and we were right there until the end. They scored 3 late ones, so
yeah, it was 6-4 at one point. So one more lucky bounce and this and that, and then it's 5-6, and who knows, right? So
yeah, exactly.
I don't blame them for quote unquote running up the score, because they needed to put us away, because if they don't, lucky bounce here and there, and that's it. So
yeah, and 1 goal late was on the power play, so you can't argue against them scoring on a power play, right?
Right.
So
yeah, but disappointing from that was our 20-year-olds. I think they need to look better. They need to be better players. Like that, they looked bad out there last night. So, oh well, like I mean, that's the biggest takeaway for me is they need to be the leaders, and I want to see better out of them. So let's just talk about our team a little bit. Not an eventful trade deadline as much as we were expecting. So we did have some thoughts that maybe some of our 19-year-olds might be on the move, and yeah, we did see Robbie Holmes go. So that's sad. I mean, good for him. Went to Everett. Everett's certainly a contender again this year, so it's good for him to go to a contender and maybe get that championship that we couldn't give him. But sad to see him go. He was a big part of the team for the last few years, and yeah. But again, you got a second round back for him, right? A second in 2020. That's nothing to shake a stick at. So, and then you got a prospect too. So we'll see how he pans out. But again, John Paddock's pulling some pretty good trades. So,
and a 6th rounder as well, like in a couple of years. But I mean, it's nothing to shake. Not bad at all, right? So that's some good return. Like you said, he wasn't putting guys out there. He was taking calls, but he wasn't making calls. So
right,
and he wasn't going to say no to a good deal. So you can't argue with that.
No. It's it's totally
Holmes
fair.
is probably going to be back for next year. That's why the return is probably pretty good. So I don't know
20.
what. Yeah, he'll be available to return. I don't know what Everett's 20 situation is next year, but he will be available next year because he's not signed by anybody. So
right. It does leave us now with a potential 20 spot next year, does it not?
Yeah, it does, and that's not the worst thing in the world because there's going to be teams like Everett or whoever these teams loading up here are going to have multiple 20s next year, right? So
like we did.
we might have a pick of the litter kind of thing.
Yeah.
For a 20, if we want to pick up a 20 next year, right?
Yeah.
Without giving up too much.
For sure.
Because we're not going to be looking to give up too much just to get a 20, right? So.
Well, there could be even free agent 20s, right? Like if some team has so many 20s that they have to just release.
Them. True. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not a big concern. Like if we didn't trade him, we didn't trade him, but we did, and we'll find somebody else for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, good luck to him. He was a great player. Happy to have him, but I hope he has some success and good with a good team there in Everett. So
yeah, they're looking pretty good here. So
they are.
Another shutout the other night for Wolf. So
yeah, that that U.S. division is looking good. Even Seattle, they had a pretty successful road trip here. They came in and won a majority of their games, I think. So
yeah, they went 4-2. I just seen that. Like they were last place in the East, and they rolled through the Eastern Division. Like they lost to Brandon the first night, but they beat us. They lost to Saskatoon by 1. They beat PA 4-1.
Yeah.
They whooped Moose Jaw 7-2.
Yeah.
And then they beat Swift Current 5-3.
Yeah.
That's a pretty successful road trip.
No kidding. For a team that just isn't really. Well, they're out of the playoffs pretty much, so... Yeah,
they're right at the cusp there, and their record wasn't much better than ours, and I thought, well, this is going to be a winnable game, one of these teams that we can beat, and, if we have a good effort, we should beat.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they definitely outplayed us that night.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't go 6-0 like Portland did, but, I mean... Or 5-1 like Portland did, but, I mean, geez.
Pretty good.
Yeah, for the last place team in the division.
So, speaking of last place teams, looking ahead this week, we have the last place team in the the Central.
Yeah, in the Central. I think they're second last overall.
Overall, yeah, so. Between Swift Current and them. So Kootenay's coming into town. We have to win this game. Like, if we play the way we've been playing, with the effort, and if we get a better game out of our 20-year-olds, we should have this game. Yeah, they're sitting at what, 8-29, 6-1. Yeah, I want to win this game. We need a win. It's been, what are we? Oh, we haven't won in the last
7 games.
7. So come on, guys, let's get this win. If they keep playing hard, like I said, they should be able to win this game. Either McNabb or Paddock in that, it doesn't matter. But yeah, let's get this one.
Definitely, because the next 2 home and home with Saskatoon, that's going to be tough.
Those will be tough. Yeah, Saskatoon, home and home. I like these home and homes. Tough game. They didn't play very good against us the last week, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come out pretty strong against us. And they did a bit of movement, though. They got rid of their assistant, what's his name, Anderson, to Portland.
Yeah, and that kind of burned them.
Yeah, he ended up, scoring twice.
Yeah, against them.
Yeah.
So that was kind of an interesting trade because the guy that Portland gave up, he's pretty solid as well. Like, it was kind of a...
Yeah, it was...
I don't know who... It was kind of... Both players were good, so it wasn't like, oh, we're loading up and we're selling a guy. It was kind of like almost like a cross swap kind of thing.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Because they had pretty similar numbers, so...
It was a bit of an odd one. Speaking of Portland trades, everyone should know by now that they picked up Joel Hofer from Swift Current in a blockbuster, huge trade, especially for a team like Portland that isn't really someone that gives up a whole lot of their first-round picks. They gave up, it was a total of 6 picks, 2 firsts.
Yeah, they don't usually trade firsts at all, and to give up 2. But, you're going to get them for next year for sure, so maybe that's why they thought, oh, can we give up 2 firsts because we get them for 2 years?
Yeah.
So
it was
that's
19 and a 21 though, so a bit of a gap there. So if you're looking at building a team, it's not bad at all, but a bit of a lag there that you're going to start seeing these guys.
You spread it out a bit, so you still get your 20 to either trade later or to use. So, and Portland's one of the more consistent teams as well. So they don't have the ups and downs like some of these other teams do. But good for Swift Current, hey? They needed that. Like, that's huge for them.
Yeah, definitely. I forget where I read it, but someone says, is it possible that, because they've done some really good rebuilding too, that the last place team in the league could be possibly have the GM of the year? Like, because he's done pretty good as well. So
yeah, and his track record in the SJHL was real good. So yeah, no, good for them. As much as I dislike Swift Current, we're kind of in the same boat right now. So yeah, you know what it. Well, we can compare ourselves to them on the rebuild, see who's doing better, right? So
yeah. So
we're going in the same direction at the same time frame.
Although next year could be pretty bleak for them too. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Hofer was kind of their bright spot.
Definitely, yeah, and they traded away Zawatsky, their next best player, I think. So
yeah,
to Moose Jaw. So that's kind of an interesting pickup. Moose Jaw's apparently gonna. Obviously, they didn't sell anybody, so they're gonna take a run at it.
Yeah,
they didn't make any other moves, but big moves.
It's gonna be an interesting last couple weeks here and into the playoffs. Now that we're kind of on the outside looking in, you can maybe have a different view of it, and you're not really, so invested into. I mean, we're invested in our team, but we know we're not going to the postseason. So to see all the movement and kind of how people are positioning and putting in their chips and stuff, it's kind of fun. It's fun. Not being so emotional about it, but being able to be kind of the third party looking at it. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 games this week. Prediction: I say we get at least one. Maybe we can squeak out a loser point here against one of the games against Saskatoon. But I don't know. Like we said, going forward, it's all about the effort. So hopefully the young guys keep it up. Get some better looks out of our 20-year-olds. And I don't know, anything else you want to say today?
I think our power play's got to get better. Like, it's been pretty weak lately here. So
yeah,
like 1 out of 10 these last 3 games. Yeah, so
It would be
we've
nice
given-
to maybe start seeing some guys emerge that'll be maybe the guys next year, start getting some looks at least on the power play. And who
yeah, I
knows?
don't know. It's got to get it better, I think. So,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
and we've given up the second most shorthand goals against as well, so that doesn't help either.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think we gave up one against Red Deer again last night or the night before there. So
Yeah, we did.
yeah, no, I think like you said, 3 points I think would be nice. I think we got to win that Kootenay game at home
Yeah.
for
Hopefully,
sure. So
hopefully a jersey raffle. My guess is it's going to be if there's a credit left, it'll be a credit. They just seem to play or put, they tie into this somehow into a team coming in if available.
yeah, they've been doing that lately. Yeah, ex players coming in.
So you missed the Red Deer game, but it was they had Jackman's. They made a Jackman jersey.
Okay, so was it the old style or was it a new style?
It was new.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's not exciting.
No, it wasn't.
I got the email and they said Jackman and they showed him in, like when he was playing in the old blue.
And that's what I thought. Well, maybe they had an old blue kicking around somewhere, and
they made a Jackman. I knew it wasn't going to be game worn or anything.
Right.
But
no, they just made one, so I didn't even put in for that.
No,
I did get the bobblehead, so that's
all right.
Yeah, I didn't line up to get him signed. Sorry.
No, that's fine. The Creta, there is a Creta Maroon still online, so maybe that'll be up for auction.
Yeah,
or raffle.
For raffle, I'd put in for that. Yeah. But overall, other than last Wednesday, the crowd was a little small, but to be expected. Yeah. But again, like this Red Deer game, there's lots of people there. I think having the Timbit stuff at intermission helps because you get all the kids and you get their parents and grandparents and this and that, so that helps get a few in. But whatever
they got to do, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? So
no, it's
like we said. I think our attendance is probably percentage-wise one of the best in the league. So
I think so. Yeah, it is. Good. Okay, we'll wrap up today. Yeah, we'll just keep on keeping on. This is our team for the next year, so let's get behind them and let's hope for a win on Wednesday.
Yeah, we could use one here.
Okay, we'll see you at the rink, guys.
Later, guys.
Okay, bye.